The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newey Scruggs.
Here we are, the Players Lounge. We are here this week, okay? We are here this week.
Yes.
Took Memorial Day off. You took Memorial Day off,
Yes.
as you should have, but the crew is back here. Danny McCray with the day off. All right, Barry Church is here in the house.
What's happening?
Heckma Harrison is here.
42.
Newey Scruggs.
sir.
We are here at the home of the Dallas Cowboys, headquarters right here in
We made it.
Frisco, Texas.
By the grace.
Barely
made it.
Yes.
By the grace.
A lot of weather going on around here. A lot of
Crazy.
playoffs going on around here yesterday, Mavs game. So I had this question. I wanted to hit Barry with because he's a former player. Heck, and
What's happening?
His tax bracket was different than ours. Okay,
Hey, you ain't got to tell me again.
so I see Micah Parsons at the game yesterday.
he was
Diggs is at the game. Amari Cooper has been at the past two games. What are the ticket prices when you want to go to a game? Like, what is the protocol? Do you have a person over there that the guys call? I mean, how do guys get in on that?
So current players, we talking about Parsons and CeeDee and all that. I'm sure they got a guy because when I played, I had a guy like, hey, what's going on? I need these tickets here. And don't get hooked up, for the most part about it. But sometimes you don't get hooked up. And when you're looking at them courtside seats, them going to run you about for the Western Conference Final about 10 a pop. So. I'm not sure if they're paying those prices because they might got a guy that can hook them up down there.
Yeah.
But those courtside seats, man, they get pretty pricey out there, man. They get real pricey. But 9 times out of 10, they got a guy down there that's like, hey, come through. We'll put you on the camera, blah, 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 blah. And they come through and get it done.
Really? So you could potentially get it for nothing?
Yeah, you could.
Free 99.
Nah, we're talking about the upper echelon players. Like me, I always had to pay. Like there was no discount.
There, go with that,
There was
man.
always,
Somebody
the upper echelon guy. They gonna be able to walk up in there
Really?
9 times out of 10. Yeah.
10 bands.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to game 3, and I was looking down there. And I was like, oh no. I don't like basketball that much.
My gosh.
Yeah, it's real. It gets real, man.
Okay, so you went to game 3?
Yeah, I went to game 3. Yeah. Me and the wife went to game 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it was
right.
time.
All right. So on something like that, you just call a ticket guy, just say, hey, look, I'm trying to get over here, and then you just kind of give a price of where you want to
Or where you want to go, or what you're willing to with your budget. And my budget was nowhere near that course. I was about 4 rows back, but
4 rows back. He was 4 rows.
still, you got.
I need a binocular.
Meanwhile, on the south side of town, I'm like, man, my nose is bleeding.
These 3 people in front of me, Heckma.
There's a row. Once you get past that, you know how you get that little step down to the court. There's a gap right there.
And
There's a gap.
they still come and deliver your drinks and food. Right.
You get to go down the little, how they go, the players
give you
go in the
a whole
alleyway.
circle.
Yeah.
First of all, we don't know that, Church.
Right.
You're gonna have to explain this to us.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Like, you go down
Thank
these
you.
steps. Like, no, we don't.
There's like
we
a little
don't know
step.
that.
Where is that?
There's like a little step. So you got courtside, 2-3 rows right here. Then there's one little step, and then you're just starts going up.
All right, so I go to these games all the time, Hex. I haven't understood what's going on. So when you're coming in, when you're doing like that, are you coming in from the bottom?
No, I use
stairwell?
the bathroom down there though.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So like if I'm going to the, so I'm right there. I'm not going all the way up the steps to. Yeah,
Right.
I go down the little where the players come in at.
Yes,
The little
yeah,
alleyway
yeah.
right there.
Right,
You go down that
down
step
the-
and you
yeah.
can go down there. Yeah.
Yeah, down the bowels area. Okay.
Yeah.
Where
that's
do you
what-
park?
Oh, I park. So there's you never heard of Harwood? It's like a little hardwood bar, and there's on top of it. It's like a little parking spot I use, residential shopping.
wow.
So they never,
wow.
I just park up in there and walk about 2 blocks,
Wow.
2-3 blocks.
Look at that.
I ain't trying to pay $60 for parking.
I have to Uber to the game.
But see, it's hard to get an Uber after the game.
After the game.
Yeah,
That's
so-
the thing. I'm like, man, it's hard to get one after the game. So yeah, a couple walks.
Okay, so I've seen Parsons there and Diggs, seen several guys there. I haven't.
Shaq was there though, game 3.
Well, he's working.
Yeah, that's true. TNT crew.
TNT. He's working, but yeah. Queen Latifah was there.
Yeah,
Travis
she was
Kelce
out
was
there,
there.
yeah.
Patrick
Mahomes,
Mahomes
they
was
was all
there.
out
So
there,
there's a lot of
yeah.
people out there for the past couple games. Holiday weekend, so people had that. But I just did wonders, like Jose, for the Cowboy players that want to go. Remember Romo used to go. Romo
All the time,
Romo
yeah.
went different ways. Romo went as free agent Romo. Then he started to go as Tony Romo. Then the next thing, he was like the Make-A-Wish kid, and they let him go.
Man, he
out there
parking
and
at the
play.
stadium. Like, he parking at the stadium.
Had to play on the play, go warm up on the team, everything else.
You know you're upper echelon player. When you see those pictures and you see like the football players in like the alleyway underneath the stadium, that's how you know you big time. You going
Never
places
been
that
there, never seen it.
I've never have either. I just seen pictures. Of it,
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
Barry, man, you ought to stop, man.
let's
You come here with that.
dive into the current.
I've never seen it, but yeah. Use the bathroom down there.
It exists. That's what they told me.
Meanwhile, we're in the line down the hallway.
I'm on row 4, but
That's awesome, man.
it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So CeeDee Lamb, I did not see CeeDee Lamb there, and obviously CeeDee wants a contract. So guys, Amar St. Brown, Detroit, $30 million. AJ Brown, Philly, $32 million. So this is the ballpark of what it is for a receiver. I think we all on this show, players, we all acknowledge he's getting 30.
At least.
At least. We're
It's
going to
gonna
start
cost you
there.
at
That's a
least,
start.
At least $30 million. They're waiting, and I was told by someone that CeeDee Lamb is actually just waiting to see what George Jefferson does.
Thank you.
Go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Yeah.
And then you play your cards from there. If I'm the Cowboys, I still don't understand. Why don't you just go? And maybe they have. Maybe they haven't. We don't
that's
know.
true.
Like, hey, man, here you go. To me, if I'm looking at St. Brown and Brown, here you go, man. Let's get this thing done and move along here. So, what are your thoughts right now, Heckman?
Look, my thing is, and I'm glad you brought that up about Minnesota because, look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist at all. I do, but before I make my take, I gotta say that I do feel as though there's a little bit of collusion going on in this situation because you're going to reset the market one way or another. And if I'm CeeDee, no, I'm not accepting anything until I find out exactly what's being paid at the top. And if you're Minnesota, you're on the other side looking at the Cowboys the same way. Mm-hmm. Truth is, these two players are kind of linked at the hip because they came in the draft together, and CeeDee was drafted ahead of Justin Jefferson. But who do you think to this point has had the better career to this point right now? I'm going to say Justin Jefferson.
We already know.
Yeah. Okay,
Jefferson.
I'm gonna say Justin.
It's not a debate.
Not a debate.
It's not a
okay.
debate.
But if you're CeeDee, you're debating that because, one, when you come into the league, Dak gets hurt, whatever it is, Dak's hurt, all of that, quarterback turmoil, Dak's hurt twice, your numbers have been affected by it, but finally you get an opportunity to prove that you're the man and everybody knows that you're that, all right? He is in a position right now to reset the market, but also push himself over what Justin Jefferson could get. If I'm CeeDee, I'm not looking at Justin Jefferson like everybody else saying like he should get paid more than me. I'm fighting to be that guy. Because if you're looking at CeeDee like a stock, like I look all of these players, who has the more upside? Justin Jefferson right now doesn't have a quarterback. Okay? CeeDee Lamb, on the other hand, he does.
That's true.
Okay? So if I'm CeeDee, I'm fighting for tooth and nail every penny I got because you're not about to say I'm 1B to Justin Jefferson's 1A. And that's just his perception of how he perceives himself in this contract negotiation. We may not agree with that, but if you're CeeDee Lamb, you're fighting tooth and nail to be the highest paid wide receiver in the league.
I got you on that one, and I'm with you on that. And if I'm CeeDee Lamb, you said AJ Brown got 32?
Yeah.
Man, I'm not taking a penny less than 32. Because in my opinion, if I'm CeeDee Lamb, I'm better than, pretty much every receiver out here outside of Justin Jefferson.
But we also know Philly and their numbers are always interesting.
Yeah, they throw some
Kind
bread
of like
around.
your math in that book.
Right. So the math of math.
The math of math up.
Okay, well, he's got a big old balloon payment. Philly does some interesting things with numbers there. So I feel you on that. But and this is just my thing, Hackman, I think they're really different in terms of how you go about the contract. I'll say this. I don't know if Minnesota get the deal done with Jefferson, honestly.
No.
I don't know.
I can see that.
I could see them saying, hey, man, for what you're looking for, we may not be able to make this thing happen. I could see it because it's going to be way out there. And their market and everything, can they sustain paying him? We'll see. As far as CeeDee Lamb goes, CeeDee Lamb has a couple things that I think you have to take into effect, and I think it's going to work for the same thing with Dak Prescott. Being a Dallas Cowboy, you're going to be on TV more than anybody around here. You're in a place where there's no state taxes. We know Jerry pays top dollar, okay? We know this. So yes, they're all going to look for top dollar because traditionally the Cowboys have paid that number.
Right.
Whether it's Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, Dak Prescott, Tank Lawrence, Amari Cooper, Zeke, you go down the list. They have a reputation of paying it. I just think truly, if you're a guy like CeeDee Lamb, you'll wait, you'll get a deal done, but you want to be in Texas. He's from Houston, played at Oklahoma. This is where he's at. And the endorsement, there's things that you only get because you're here. If Dak Prescott leaves tomorrow, does 7-Eleven go with him? Does Tom Thumb go with him? I mean, some of these things are they're Cowboy-based deals that if you go to Pittsburgh, it's not gonna necessarily travel with you. Mm-hmm. Maybe the sleep number bed does, but I do think for these guys, there's an other aspect that I think they have to look into that. But ultimately, they're gonna get the bag because they always get the bag from Jerry.
Yeah.
He never tell me the last true guy who didn't get a bag, who didn't get a good bag.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, but you're not saying taking the hometown discount though.
Who has?
Nobody really has.
Nobody
really has.
Nobody has. Okay, especially if we're talking about an offensive weapon.
One of the best in
Forget
the league.
the defensive guys.
Yeah.
Like Diggs. You tell me, Cooper got paid.
Zeke got paid.
He tied the market. Zeke set the market.
Yeah.
Dak set the market. 4 years, 160. I mean, Travis Frederick set the center market. Yeah. Zach Martin. I mean,
Dez Bryant.
Yeah, that's tied it. The whole thing we talk about the collusion, him and Demaryius Thomas at the same time. They came, it was a 5 year, 75. They both got. So I'm not really worried about that for Lamb. You're going to get it, in my opinion, just based on what they've done. When have they not, Heck?
No, great point. But I don't think that today's players even acquiesce to that, what you're talking about. Being a Dallas Cowboy, being in Texas, the taxes, all those things. You're a player. You're looking at the guys up ahead of you and saying, I don't want to be behind that guy. Like you said, A.J. Brown, I'm not going to get a penny less than what he. All right, and on top of that, I want to get paid more than that guy because now I'm at the table. When you played, Barry, you knew what every safety was making in the NFL.
Yeah, you did, right?
Right. So CeeDee Lamb is in that same. He's in that same boat right now.
He knows.
And there's no way in hell he's going to say, all right, well, I think Justin Jefferson's best of me. I'm more of a weapon. I line up in the slot, even though Jay Jettis does the same thing. Mm-hmm. But from his touchdowns to his yardage to having a quarterback, the future is brighter for him, and he doesn't have to say, "Look, I want to be a Cowboy because I want the Tom Thumb and all those those endorsement deals and all that." But even the same thing for Dak. He doesn't have to. Look, sleep number doesn't go with me or Tom Thumb. Like, he's generationally wealthy. He doesn't care about that.
He got the bag.
The big bag.
They're going to get the bag. We know this because they always do. Mm-hmm. They always do. They can talk tough all they have, but when it comes to an offensive weapon, they've always.
Oh, you're talking about the front office?
Yeah,
they've always.
Okay. Does, but Michael Irvin always got paid.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Galloway got paid. Rocket got himself paid. I mean, you go down the list of weapons, offensive weapons. Jerry's paid the weapons. Emmett got paid. I mean, they all. DeMarco Murray was the only guy who did not get paid. But I was sitting here, and I'd always felt like DeMarco Murray had a great year, but he wasn't a great player, and he was always hurt. I never thought DeMarco was that guy.
Okay.
DeMarco left here. He never had a better year than he had here.
No.
So that one they played correctly. But then we saw what they did with Zeke, who was a better player.
Yeah.
They paid him. And so to me, when we talk about this, he's going to get the bag. We know this. But I do believe, Heckman, that part about, where you're at, if push comes to shove, I still think Dak's going to be here. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Zeke came back. Why did he come back? Family's here. He likes it here. Mm-hmm. And I think the same thing. That's why I believe a deal will get done, Heckman. That is going to be it. Like, ultimately, you're going to get paid because you know you're getting paid. They don't not pay offensive weapons. So you're going to get the bag. Mm-hmm. But I think those other factors in there, to me, weigh as well. And I don't know how close you guys are to, and I know you are, but just how many some of these players that you know when you leave and you talk to them, mm-hmm. and they talk about what they miss about the area and more importantly, their wives and family miss.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you take into account. Not that you're about to give no discounts, because ain't none of them give no discounts, because Jerry pays them. I just think that matters and factors.
The question for me is when you look at the number of contracts that you have on the docket, mm-hmm. you're going to reset the market for sure when it comes down to Micah. He's going to be the highest paid defensive player. Then you have Trayvon Diggs on the other side. You have DeRon Bland's contract coming. You have a lot of contracts that Tyler Smith, he's also going to be in line for that as well as we're talking about market-setting contracts. Like you can't we've said this before, everybody can't get paid, but everybody is getting paid.
When haven't they?
Yeah.
When haven't they?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Travis Frederick, center market, said it. Yeah. Zach Martin, guard market, said it. Tyron took kind of a discounted deal.
He always did too.
He took kind of a discount deal, but still.
Did.
But somebody in this situation is going to have to.
I mean, I just, when you say it, heck, I come into this, who's not going to reset it? Who's not going to get paid? Because it's what they do.
Wow.
Especially on an offensive standpoint. Jerry values these offensive guys. Tell me the offensive guy outside of Tyron Smith who didn't really get a record-setting bag.
No, I believe that CeeDee deserves it. I believe he earned it, and I believe that where he's projected right now in his career, he can't do anything but go up. He's shown you he's a weapon. He inside, you can move him outside. Mike McCarthy proved with the way that he put that offense together that if he can feature CeeDee, he obviously needs more help at the number 2 and 3 wide receiver position, but still, CeeDee Lamb is a bona fide weapon. The money part of it, we want it to take care of itself, but Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb are in the same boat together right now. Who gets the bigger bag is going to come out in the next couple of weeks.
Whoever's first.
Yeah, whoever's first.
But he has them handcuffed. CeeDee Lamb has the Cowboys handcuffed right now because if you look at his production without CeeDee Lamb, where is the passing production coming from?
Ferguson.
It has to be done. Like it has to be done.
He's getting paid. They're all three are getting paid.
You're just saying that no matter what, the bag is going to be delivered to CeeDee and don't even worry about it. This 5th year, and the 5th year option is $20 million, by the way. By the way, the 5th year is $20 million.
Dak,
let's go.
Dak Prescott is the only question mark I have. Micah's getting his bag. CeeDee Lamb is getting his bag. Yeah. Dak, and I say the question mark because it's just very weird. Because NFL teams normally don't do this to their quarterbacks. That's why I say it's weird. But the other two, they're going to get paid. They want to be there. Jerry wants him here. Now, I had a good conversation with Clarence Hill. So we were at game 3, and he'd come from talking to Amari Cooper. You know Clarence. He said, I did ask him. He said he didn't call Dak the Black.
He wrote a
Kirk
great
Cousins.
article about that too. By the way.
Right, and he was talking. So it was before. He was talking about I'm gonna do it, and so he was talking about doing it. So when he says it, and he says like, yeah, I said I had to ask him. Did you call him the Black Kirk Cousins? He's like, no, I didn't. I just started laughing when he says like, only you would do that. Only you would do that.
He gonna bring it up.
Right, he brought it up, and he said, and I didn't read the article, but he said, look, man, no. He says, I love Dak. He said, my career, when I was coming from the Raiders, it was in the point in the wrong way. He says, Dak got me paid. Yeah. So he'll always have a place for me. And so he had a good conversation with him on that. But even he had talked about it. He kind of found it a little bit weird because, I mean, think about it. Justin Herbert, your guy down with the Chargers, man, he wrote that check like that.
He ain't did nothing compared to what Dak's been doing.
Right, and even though Lamar's the only person that we recently kind of said, hey, man, he had to work for the bag a little bit. That's the only guy. Mm-hmm. And you saw what happened there. But even when Dak had to work for it, he more than showed he was worth the contract here. So I just don't really understand it. But here's what I do know, Heck. Jerry wandered the desert after Troy Aikman and did not like not having a franchise quarterback. Mm-hmm. So I just believe they're going to keep that situation alive. Trey Lance, I think, is also a part of it. Like, hey, look, you know what? We want to make sure we've got something for ourselves here. I'm not ready to believe he's wanting to say, go give me Trey Lance right now on line 3, let's do it. I don't think they're ready to do that.
Man, so do you think they're going to go into this year with Lance as the backup, huh?
We got to see what he does in OTAs, and we got to see what he does in training camp.
Because I poo-poo on Cooper, but Cooper,
Cooper Rush showed you. He's proven.
He does.
He's got the time-proof and consistency.
He's not flashy.
He does.
He just goes in there and does it.
So, look, you can keep Cooper Rush on your roster as a 3 or a 2. Either way, he's paid. So he's paid. He's here. Your thought process is what do you do with Lance and how do you get something out of him, be it for you or maybe even a trade market or something. Mm-hmm. I don't have I just don't have a problem with him like some people do, because if you didn't use your 4th round pick like you did this year for him, you were going to need to draft somebody. You're going to have to, especially now that they get ready to go 18 games.
Yeah.
We already see what they're doing now, struggling, trying to get quarterbacks through 17. You better have some folks ready to go. I don't have a problem with Trey Lance. He's still a young guy. I mean, he's younger than Michael Penix.
Yeah. Right now today, and I think that's why they've already come out and said he's going to get so many reps in the preseason, because you got to show everybody else what he still has in the tank, because everybody knows what Cooper Rush has. But I think it's also the San Francisco Purdy. It's the Brock Purdy effect when it comes down to quarterbacks, because Shanahan's just showing you, look, I can take Mr. Irrelevant, put him in an offense, in a system, and make it work. And so many coaches, offensive coordinators, it's just their ego saying, I can make it work with anybody. You can be a game manager and still make it to the Super Bowl.
He's that good. Kyle could sit up here and say it and do it because he's that good. But I think along the way, as a head coach, you have to figure out, what is it that I need? I think Mike McCarthy's done a fantastic job, doesn't get enough credit for figuring out what he needs in quarterbacks. From what he was able to work with Favre, he was there when Aaron Rodgers came through, what he's been able to take Dak next level. I mean, to me, I'm very impressed with Cooper Rush. I mean, Cooper Rush was a guy who they threw out the door, and he ended up a year with the Giants. And people are like, he comes back here and works with McCarthy, and he does something. I'm really eager to see what he can do with Trey Lance. I want to see it because I think he's done a good job. So we know what Kyle Shanahan is. I think Sean McVay is a guy, he was there in Washington working with Kirk Cousins, when he went out there and worked with Jared Goff, and to the point in time where he said, you know what, I can't win a Super Bowl with this guy. Go get me that guy. He got Stafford. They won a Super Bowl. And I just think certain coaches know how they got an understanding. I think McVay has an understanding. I think McCarthy has an understanding. I think Andy Reid truly has a. This dude went to the playoffs with Feely or whatever. I mean, this guy is really good, man. Hey, man, Donovan, go away. I'm going to go ahead and trade you in the division. I'm still going to go ahead and go kick butt. He's really good. We've got some good coaches of quarterbacks who understand what it is. Heck, and I think someone said, what is it that I need? And the good coaches know what they need here. And I think Mike McCarthy, and I'm really eager to see what he can do. I don't think Trey Lance is as bad as people say. Because
what makes you say that?
What time proof and consistency do you have with that?
Perfect. And I'm gonna go. I go back to Cooper Rush, man. I mean, I remember when they brought in Cooper Rush from Central Michigan, and you thought maybe there's a little something there the first year. The rookie, he was good, and then it went downhill, and then they ended up cutting it, and then they brought him back. I mean, I was there that Thanksgiving Day, man. Halloween up there in Minnesota, and the guy throws for 300 yards.
He went crazy.
And got it done. And then when Dak got hurt, kept the ship afloat.
4-1.
I mean, I'm looking at him like, this is not a slammer. This is a bus driver. And they're sitting up here getting production out of him that they know Mike McCarthy knew what to do with him. I think Trey Lance is a more talented player. Based off the skills, we have to see it. But I'm excited to see what I think he can do with Mike McCarthy. Am I ready to go put some bets on or something like that? But based on what I've seen with Mike working with guys, I think he's really good at that. I think what we saw from Cooper Rush is good. Let's take a break. I want you guys to marinate on what I just said. And then come ready to shoot bullet holes in everything I do. Because it's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Heck, Barry Church, New East Coast Players Lounge right here, DallasCowboys.com radio.
Hold up.
Boy,
it's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie Bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The schedule is set, and limited tickets for the 2024 Dallas Cowboys season at AT&T Stadium are available now. Don't miss your chance to see your Cowboys live at AT&T Stadium when they host the NFC East rival Blue Eagles, Giants, and Commanders, plus the Saints, Ravens, Lions, Texans, Bengals, and Bucks. Visit DallasCowboys.com/tickets or SeatGeek.com, the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Thank you, Hackman Harrison, your Players Lounge. We are here at the Star in Frisco.
It's in there. Boo. It's in there.
It's in there.
I'm gonna write it in right
the
now.
Boo-Boo Eagle.
As we come down to do the broadcast, you see they've got everything set up out here outside for the players to get their work in here. The organized team activities, as famous linebacker Darren Hambrick once said. Chris, I don't know if you were there, and that time I interviewed him when he said, what do voluntary mean?
What do voluntary mean?
Because he didn't want to show up. He's like, why do I have to be here? You know, it's voluntary. What do voluntary mean?
Hambrick with the sound bites, man. Don't get him like that no more.
Darren Hambrick was a great soundbite. His little brother, not so much, but Darren Hambrick was a great soundbite, man. What do voluntary mean?
You better beat it. I think that. If you ain't one of them CeeDees or the Micahs, you better be in there, man.
Okay, so all right, guys, I just did my Trey Lance thought process. So go ahead, shoot the bullet holes. Go ahead.
You want me to do
you
it?
Want my blood?
At it, man.
You want my blood? Take my blood.
Because the question was, what makes you feel like Trey Lance, can be that backup guy? You said McCarthy because he, his work with quarterbacks, and when you say, Lance is more talented, I'm not so sure about that. I think he's more athletic than a Cooper Rush and a Dak, but
That's a skill.
Yeah, he's more athletic, but is he accurate with the football? Can he read the defenses out there? Can he go from his first progression to the last progression? Is he can he check the ball down? Like, these are all these things that I've yet to see.
Sure.
From a Trey Lance. This is a guy who's played 15 games in college.
Yeah.
At was it North Dakota State?
Yes.
Nothing against them, but it's not like he was going against SEC powers out here. So to me, I still think there's a lot left open on the Trey Lance book. And is McCarthy the right guy to get him going and get all that untapped potential? He could be. Like you said, he worked with the Favres, the Rodgers, the Daks of the world, and he got them to the next level. So he could do that with Trey Lance. But to me, I just don't see it, and I don't see it coming to fruition either. I don't see this guy going. If that went down, God, I hope that doesn't happen. But if he does go down, I don't see Trey Lance going out there being 4-1. Like a Cooper Rush was.
Yes.
And did Cooper have a great defense out there as well? Yes, they were that year that Cooper Rush stepped in. They were playing phenomenal defense, being able to get after the pass rush, turn the ball over, all that great things. But I just don't see Trey Lance being able to be as productive in that system like a Cooper Rush was.
No, I echo and I agree with everything that you just said. And it's Trey Lance, to me, the anomaly of him and just the premature nature in which they traded for that guy. To me, I was like, why? What's the reason when you already have a Cooper Rush, a proven commodity, and nobody is harder on underwhelming quarterbacks than Newy Scruggs. Okay? And so it's shocking.
I was always on Cooper Rush.
I was off him. I was like,
because that was Gary, because you had Gary Gilbert. Okay,
Double G, shout out.
Yeah, Double G. All right, and he had competition, which made you question why they let him go, Gary Gilbert go for Cooper Rush. And it showed. It showed in those games that you're just talking about, the Halloween game against the Vikings. You saw him when Dak went down with his thumb, with his thumb. And he is a proven commodity. Why did we need Trey Lance? But to me, if the pick itself was for future picks, okay, I thought you were going to use that this year, all right, because you did. It was a 5th or 4th or whatever it was that you used on him. You needed that this year. Having this guy play and take those snaps in the preseason, okay, it makes him better, and also shows that Mike McCarthy can develop these guys to be, I'm not gonna say the Favres and things like that. But what I am basically saying is, does Trey Lance have a future in the NFL? That's a gray area. I can't walk into that soundly and say that that's who he is, because he also has been often hurt.
So, and I go back to the conversations I had with some folks who were part of the deal. Is had they not gotten Trey Lance, they would have used a 2024 pick on a quarterback. That's what they would have done, to say, okay, we have a question about, what are we doing with Dak? Cooper's okay, but we want another guy. Mm-hmm. So they used a 4th on Trey Lance, who they had a 2nd-round grade on, who they thought was a good player coming out of school. They liked the player. So they used a 4 on him. The problem, and what makes so many people upset, is that you see Mac Jones, former first-round pick, Justin Fields, former first-round pick, who basically went for 6s. But if you tried to get those players at the beginning of the year where they got Trey Lance, you would not have gotten them for a 6.
That's why it's premature.
And see, and for me, I didn't have a problem with it from the standpoint, I understood the logic, of, hey, we got a 2nd-round pick, a guy that we're just using as a lotto ticket. Let's see what we think we can do with him, with our coaching staff and our system. If we hit the lotto ticket, great. If we don't, we don't. We'll take the opportunity. No, not to say it's the same, but what did the 49ers do with Brock Purdy? That was a lotto ticket. It was a scratch. Boom, it worked. Mm-hmm. So maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't have a problem with rolling the dice on a quarterback. I remember Aaron Brooks being taken by the Green Bay Packers. I watched Aaron Brooks with Virginia. I thought he was a nice player.
He was.
Goes to Green Bay, they develop, they move him on to the Saints, and then Mike McCarthy ended up working with Aaron Brooks, by the way, and won the first ever playoff game for the Saints. I believe Mike McCarthy can work with quarterbacks.
That's a great comp.
And make them better players. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I ain't sitting here telling you, hey, man, this guy ready to go take that spot. No. Could they make him a better player? Could we see them get something that Kyle Shanahan could not? And I think a part of the problem is people say, hey, man, Kyle couldn't get nothing out of him. This guy ain't no good. You go back and you listen to the people like Mike Lombardi and Chris Sims, and they'll tell you that wasn't a dude that Shanahan even wanted. That it was Lynch and another guy who kind of pushed Trey Lance on him, that he was more of a Mac Jones kind of guy.
Okay.
And if it's one thing you don't want to do in football is push a player on a coach don't want.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Player doggone dead on arrival almost, man.
At one point, and I'm going back to what Church was saying about Trey Lance playing only 15 college games and things like that. Just he came into the league already an unproven commodity, and maybe that was Shanahan's apprehension about him as a quarterback. The guys that we're talking about are guys that have had that has played and has that tape playing against, SEC, Big 12. You've seen what they can do. Brock Purdy, Iowa State. It was Big 12. He was a ball. He played,
4 years.
Yeah, he was that guy. And so, look, my thing is with this whole Trey Lance development argument, whatever it is, I always thought that we needed other things. We spent that on that. All right, we had Cooper Rush there. I didn't understand it, and that's why I thought it was premature from that aspect. But still, if you're going to develop this guy and he's going to be your commodity, he's going to be your second quarterback, fine. If you're using him for trade bait in the future, I'm fine with that as well. But I'm right there with you when I say this guy hadn't done anything. I hadn't seen anything from him, so I don't know what he is.
Which is also why he was available. Why he was available. And, look, Justin Fields, he showed you he played at a high level, won at college, won at college at the highest level, went to the playoffs, and same thing with Mac Jones. And, this thing can go a lot of different ways. So I am just eager and ready to see exactly what it is that they can do. All right, we got to get another break.
Josh Johnson.
We got to get another break.
That's
Dak Prescott says he doesn't play for money.
Come on, man.
Oh.
Do we believe it?
Yeah,
Let's discuss that next. Right here on Players Lounge. Brought to you on DallasCowboys.com radio.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Join us for the 3rd annual Dallas Cowboys Juneteenth celebration presented by Miller Lite. Head to Miller Lite House at AT&T Stadium on Saturday, June 15th from 3 to 7 p.m. to enjoy live entertainment and shop local Black-owned businesses. For more information on this free event, visit AT&T.com/Juneteenth.
I don't play for money. Never have, never cared for it, to be honest with you. Would give it up just to play this game. So I allow that to the business people to say what it's worth, what they're supposed to give a quarterback of my play, a person of my play, leader of my play, I guess you can say. And for me, it's about, as I said, control. I can control and handle that part, and the rest will take care of itself.
That is Dak Prescott. He's up for a contract extension here. So Dak saying, I don't play for money. He recently, his last contract was a 4-year, $160 million deal. So, all right, Barry Church.
I've never heard anyone, say they, don't play for maybe. Maybe that's why, I wasn't considered one of the greats, because I treated this league like it's a job. Like, ATM. Like, look, I'm going to go in, clock in, and I'm going to clock out. So maybe that's why I was never considered the greats. They love the game and don't play for free, but I don't believe that. I mean, there's only maybe 1 or 2 sports where people just play because they love it, and that's golf. You're going to go out there, you're going to golf, you ain't getting paid for it, but you're going to go out there and golf consistently. But with the NFL, it takes too much out of you for you not to get something back in return. So, I love the sentiment. He's going to go out there, say it in front of the cameras, but come on, man. He's about to be one of the highest paid quarterbacks, if not the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League. You're not going out there for the free ski. I'm sorry. You're just not going to do it. The game is too tough. Get your money, big dog.
Hey, when you hear me hit you with a, I'm lying. I'm doing it for the gram, and I hit you with a no. Even his subconscious was saying, "Boy, you better stop." No, here's the thing with Dak. It comes down to the way that he was treated in those years that they, put the tag on him. Yeah, he put the franchise. He had to fight for his contract. He's continuing to have to fight to just say that he belongs amongst the upper echelon of quarterbacks in the NFL. Everybody knows when it comes down to Dak, the perception is great regular season quarterback. not very good in the playoffs. He has to get that up from over him. He really does. He has to get that off of him, and he has to take it further and even to an NFC championship or a Super Bowl. But that's where he is. And so I think when you hear sentiments and him saying stuff like that, he kind of understands that, look, this is where I am in my career. He's a decade. But in his 9th year as a player, and the longevity, the tenure of quarterbacks, I mean, just thinking of Tom Brady, here's a guy that could play for another, meaning Dak Prescott, could play for another 5-6 years at a high level. Yeah. Okay, so like the money part of it is going to take care of itself. But I think for him, just reaching that great status, it's just all going to be culminated with him actually winning a Super Bowl. That's where he has to be.
Idealism versus realism. Ideally, you want to come out and say what he said, which is that you play because you love it. But we also understand this is a business. We got people like Jerry Jones and Shad Khan and the Maras getting rich. So you're not going to get play for free.
Big time.
And if I'm going to get CTE out of this, I'm going to get paid too.
Yeah, 100%.
But I think there's a way, I think he said the idealistic thing of what you want to say, but realistically, we know this, man. This is a business. And you should come in and get what you can while you can, because we know when they are done with you, they are going to throw you out. And that's business. And I'm okay with it.
Has it been your reality as a journalist that you've heard players say stuff like that as they've gotten longer in their career versus when they were younger? Like, I don't play for the money.
I look at Dak, and I think you just go back to the tremendous deal they had for him, before he got his mega deal. I mean, the man was making more money on endorsements than he was as a player, but you never saw him complaining. He didn't do that. Yeah. He just went and did his deal. So I think we can take him at the face value, because when he was the biggest bargain in the game, he didn't get out here and complain about it. He just went and made his own money in other places. So I just think we know he's not a greedy man, but at the same time, you have an agent. You're going to get what you can while you can. You best do that.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're not smart. All right, guys, this is fun. This is fun. Wait, 2 minutes. A good time, man. Hackman Harrison, man. Appreciate it, man. Got a lot to get to.
Get your money, Dak, man. Get your money, man.
Yeah, something else.
Like that entertainment.
Well,
are you not entertained?
You
not
unbelievable.
entertained?
That boy good.
That boy good. I'll tell you what.
12 Emmys right there.
Do you believe that?
Man, talking about Trey Lance.
Yes.
Faith. What is faith, gentlemen? Faith is when you believe in things that you cannot see. That's what faith is, gentlemen. All right, we'll do it again Monday right here.
Yes,
Players Lounge. DallasCowboys.com radio. Yes.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?